This must be the place. Professor Oubier's house.
Looks pretty creepy. I'd been away from Paris and hadn't seen Nico for nearly 6 months. I wanted to celebrate our reunion, but she had other plans. An appointment with an archaeologist. Something to do with a Mayan stone she came across while researching a story. The guy who answered the door didn't look much like an archaeologist to me. I had a bad feeling about this. I glanced over the books, vaguely hoping to find a copy of How to Deal with Poisonous Spiders While Tied to a Chair. No such luck. But I noticed one corner of the bookcase was supported by a loose block of wood. Maybe I'd been a little heavy-handed, but it was a question of survival. Of course, I was still tied to a chair in a burning house with no means of escape. One mighty bound, our hero was free. Now, I had to deal with that fire. Inside, I found a bottle of tequila. Normally, I didn't drink strong spirits, but today was far from normal. Ew. Disgusting. Not only did the tequila burn like hell, I just managed to stop myself from swallowing the worm. There was something short, fleshy, and gross on the carpet. It was the worm from the bottle of tequila. In the drawer was a small decorated pot. The pot contained a key. That dart was sharper than a mosquito's business end, but this didn't deter me from getting it anyway. It was a stylish little canvas number containing a lipstick, a handwritten note, and a pair of nylon panties with a large love heart emblazoned across the front. It occurred to me that Nico's tastes must have really changed while I was away. Well, they could be useful. I guess I had no business reading the note, but I figured it might give me a clue to what Nico was involved in. It was from André Lobineau, the history student Nico had known at college. The letter was sentimental mush, and revealed that the exotic lingerie, as he called it, was a gift from him. It gave his telephone number. Lobineau figured himself as a rival for Nico's affections, but I couldn't believe that that creep was in the running. There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas. The cabinet was locked. As I released the lock, something blew the doors open. That cylinder was hot. I couldn't pick it up with my bare hands. The panties I'd found in Nico's bag were just what I needed to wrap around the hot cylinder. The cylinder gave out a faint hiss as the valve opened. What? Now I had one primed up and ready to use extinguisher. With a well-aimed squirt of his soda fountain, our unshakable hero saved the day. Now it was time to start looking for Nico. I wasn't going to burn myself on that red-hot doorknob, and it wasn't the time for subtlety. I'd found a piece of newspaper folded in two. It referred to a forthcoming eclipse of the sun. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be visible from Europe. The best place to view the eclipse would be Mexico. It was the newspaper clipping referring to the imminent eclipse. Wrapped inside it was another small piece of paper. It was a bank statement for Oubier's account from an automatic telling machine. The last 5 withdrawals were for large amounts, and all made in Marseilles. Much as I disliked him, Lobineau might be my only hope of finding Nico. Hi, Andre?
Who is this?
It's George Stobart, Nico's boyfriend.
Don't you mean ex-boyfriend?
Look, I didn't call you just to pick a fight. I need to talk to you about Nico.
Can't you accept she's just not interested in you?
Listen, Andre, we need to talk. Nico's life depends on it.
Okay. You remember the cafe at Mountfaucon?
Sure. Andre? You'd better show, you creep. I felt an irrational urge to wipe my ear. I unlocked the door. I wasn't looking forward to meeting Lobineau again, but he was my only link with Nico. There was no sign of Lobineau when I got to the cafe. I decided to order a coffee and wait for him. Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was. Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
My girlfriend.
What it is to be young and in love. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail. It was too hot to sit inside the cafe. Besides, I might miss Labino. Oh, garçon. He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate. I had nothing else I wanted to ask the gendarme. Hey, you.
Quoi?
I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman. Un café.
Thanks. Do you know a guy called André Labino?
Oui, I know him. What of it?
Well, I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No, I have not seen him today.
Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Oui. He married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here. The nutty professor and the movie star.
If Oubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax. She died in suspicious circumstances.
How did Oubier's wife die?
I heard he shot her.
And got away with it?
He had a good lawyer and a watertight alibi.
Why would an eminent public figure like Oubier risk everything for murder?
He wouldn't be the first, would he? Besides, people like him always get off.
Do you know that man over there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
Look at this. A poison dart.
Ah oui, sure.
It's the real thing. Knocked my girlfriend out cold in a matter of seconds.
Romantic. Sounds like a real close relationship you have going.
That's all.
Thank you.
Well, well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
I wouldn't normally call you. But Nico's in trouble, Andre. Deep trouble. You have to help me find her.
What? What have you dragged her into this time?
It was you that recommended Professor Oubier as an expert on Mayan art. Now his butler's kidnapped her, and he tried to kill me.
Every time she gets involved with you, there is trouble. Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it. I had no choice.
Well, she soon recovered once she went back to her old friends.
Drop it, Andre. Right now, Nico's in danger, and we have to work together.
So, how can I help?
Nico needed to speak to Oubier about a stone.
Oh, you mean this stone?
So that's what all the trouble's about.
Precisely. Nico told me to guard it with my life.
Well, it's worth more than that, surely.
Oh, very funny.
What's funny is that your life really is on the line.
What are you talking about?
The stone is a Mayan artifact, dummy, and the guy who kidnapped Nico was from Central America. It was the stone they were after.
Oh my god, you mean I could be in danger too?
What do you suppose the carving on the stone means?
I don't know. I haven't shown it to anyone.
Why don't you just give it to me?
I don't want your death on my conscience, George.
Where did Nico get the stone?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
Oh, you should.
It was something to do with smuggling.
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Oubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected something like this would happen.
If she's been hurt, Andre, I'll break every bone in your body.
No, that's typical of you. Do you think I don't care what happens to Nicole?
It occurred to me that slugs don't have bones to break, but I kept that thought to myself. Tell me about your friend Oubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance than a friend.
I see. So you don't really know him at all?
No, I don't.
Does Oubier employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you think this is, Andre?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. It's got more backbone than you.
You think you're amusing, don't you?
What can you tell me about this pot?
South or Central American, I'd say. I have a friend who'd be able to tell you more.
Where can I find this guy?
He owns a gallery on the left bank, the Glease Gallery.
Take a look at this, Andre.
It's a bank statement.
Yeah, Professor Oubier's account. 5 large cash withdrawals in the space of 3 days, all from an automatic teller in Marseilles. Suspicious, isn't it?
You're even more crazy than you were before.
See you later.
Goodbye, Georgie.
I've had enough of your games, Kala. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
I thought your business was simply smuggling cocaine, Karzak. Why are you so interested in that stone?
Either you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
Okay. Well, I figured someone at the university would be able to help. So I had a word with one of my girlfriends, and she told me her boyfriend was a lecturer. I sent the stone to the Department of Ethnology. You know, I figured it was South American, so... You're not buying this, are you?
That's enough! I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle. We'll leave you to think it over. Come the morning, you'll be ready to talk.
Do you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink. Now I had another lead. I could either go back to Oubier's house or visit the Glease Gallery. The Glease Gallery had style and class, but very few customers.
Excuse me, sir. That area is private.
Oh, so I'm not allowed back here?
No, sir.
Are you Mr. Glease, the owner?
Good God, no.
Then I guess that must be him over there, right?
Your powers of deductive reasoning astound me.
Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Yes, of course.
I was at his house earlier.
If you're going to drop names, you could at least name one worth dropping.
I thought Oubier was a well-respected man.
Why, his last book was nothing but pseudo-intellectual claptrap. The demented ramblings of a drug-dependent has-been.
What's that you're drinking?
I'm not sure, but I have a suspicion it might be urine. Glease can't expect a favorable criticism of his gallery when he serves this muck.
Would you give me your opinion on this pot, sir?
Yes. Very rapuche.
Rapuche?
Hideous.
What the hell do you think you're doing? You smashed my pot.
Certainly, it was not only worthless, it was ugly and offensive.
To you, maybe.
Believe me, I was doing you a favor.
I wasn't going to waste any more breath talking to that pompous blimp. Maybe I could turn the situation to my advantage, and at the same time, get my revenge. I didn't think he'd be interested. I splashed a little absinthe into the glass and hoped he wouldn't notice the change of color.
Did you put something in my drink?
Yeah, I did. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly an improvement over Glease's wine. In fact, I could grow to like it.
Allow me. There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label. Underneath the logo of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing. Were those pots very valuable?
The pots are insured, but not the shelving. You've no idea how much that cost me. I hope to God Oubier has plenty more of these pots at the docks. If not, I'm ruined.
It was beginning to make sense. Oubier had organized Nico's abduction. Oubier withdrew money from Marseilles. Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseilles. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train. It was almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside.
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
Hi, good morning.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't wear a watch. As my dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure. They have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
The stick had a hook on one end. I figured it was a boat hook for hooking boats. I just knew that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little. Ouch! That's hot. The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it. Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney. The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke. Someone had once told me a piece of coal brought you luck. Who was I to argue with irrational superstition? The packet was full of dog biscuits. Here, boy, have a nice crunchy biscuit. I felt a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed. As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a dog. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. Maybe there was a way in up there. That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss.
Who is he?
Is this Condor Transglobal?
Nobody here. Go away.
I'll give you 5 seconds to let me in, or I'll bust down the door.
Okay. I'm coming.
He didn't sound too happy. The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key. Whoa! Don't shoot! The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? What do you want? He seemed excited, almost desperate. What did he want so bad? Hi. I'm not going to hurt you.
Quaramonte.
Was that your name? Quaramonte?
Quaramonte.
His vocabulary seemed a little restricted. What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Hey, you're manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here! The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates. just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now? There. That would keep the doors from closing. There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped, a secret room. Nico! There, how are you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Oubier had been in Marseilles. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Carzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Carzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oubier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oubier.
I don't get it. If Carzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Carzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait! I decided to keep the masking tape. It was bound to be of some use to me. It was a flint carving of a grotesque figure with large, evil eyes. We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure. A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open. Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator. The pallet rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
What on earth are you doing?
Trying to raise the statue so I can hook it to that pulley.
Is that really going to help us?
I like to keep myself occupied in times of stress. It was too heavy for me to move on my own. Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, Georges. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
Could you give me a hand to push this statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Okay, push! Great teamwork.
Nice to be working with you again, Mr. Stobart.
Nico, I have a great idea.
George, where have you been?
Never mind that. Do you have the Mayan stone?
Maybe I have, but,
Don't argue, André. Give the stone to Georges.
well, of course. If you say so, Nicole.
Thank you so much, André.
George, he told me you'd been kidnapped, my dear. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
Oh, but it was true. If it hadn't been for Georges, I wouldn't be here now.
It's not finished yet. Karzak's thugs will be back for that stone, you can bet. That little guy kept saying Quaramonte. Perhaps the name is significant.
Quaramonte is in Central America. That's where Oubier gets his artifacts.
That's all we needed to know. Come on, Georges.
Quaramonte, the traveler's rear entrance to Central America. Well, that's how it was translated in the brochure. We didn't know what we were looking for, but the offices of Condor Transglobal seemed a good place to start.
Hey, it's market day. I don't see any cabs. Let's ask someone how to get to Quaramonte City.
Okay. Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of Condor Transglobal. It was an armed guard looking after the barrier.
Welcome to Quaramonte.
Thanks. Can we get a cab to the capital?
This is the capital, Quaramonte City.
When's the next ship out of here?
But senor, don't you like our beautiful country?
Oh yeah, it's like a little piece of paradise right here on Earth.
Then why you wanna leave?
I'm just plain homesick, like it says in the song.
A word of warning, senor. If you feel like bursting into song, bite your tongue.
Huh?
There are official restrictions on music in Quaramonte.
How come music is restricted in Quaramonte?
It is part of the great cultural enrichment campaign. Traditional Quaramonte music is considered unsuitable for these fast-moving times. Nuestra Señora has decreed that only one category of music is suitable.
What's that?
Easy listening.
We've had enough. We're going back to the ship.
Okay. You show me your brown card?
Huh? What brown card is that?
The official exit visa.
The guy wasn't showing much enthusiasm selling his wares. It was an uninteresting little wooden hut with an armed goon outside it. Inside the hut was a chair and a small table. Hi.
You wanna buy something?
No, not really.
I got cabbages. Buy a cabbage, senor.
I don't think so. I didn't come all this way to buy vegetables. Listen, have you heard of Condor Transglobal?
No. Buy a cabbage. I'll give you a discount on both purchases.
I'm not into cabbages. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Aye, Tezcatlipoca. Put it away, senor. Tezcatlipoca brings nothing but evil.
The poor guy was so freaked, he didn't even mention his cabbages.
See ya.
The man was puffing away at a crudely rolled cigar. Hi there. What have you got for sale?
¿Qué?
I said, what have you got? Oh, never mind. The old woman was preparing a food that consisted of ground maize and lots of spittle. Hi. Lovely bread.
¿Qué?
Bread. Pain?
Si, pan.
Maybe I'll come back later when I'm hungry. The woman had an impressive display of gourds. Those things are gourds, aren't they?
Si.
Hey! Mind the footwear, lady. The guy was selling fish. Do you have crabs?
No, only fish.
Nice fish.
Thanks.
If, by some remote chance, I ever need a fish, I'll be back. Do you recognize this statue?
Si, senor. It is very, very bad luck. That is Tezcatlipoca, the Night Hunter.
I know, but I don't believe in luck, good or bad.
You may not now, but you will.
The guy looked scared out of his wits.
Go away.
A couple of musicians stood watching life go on around them. They looked pretty depressed. Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
Poor Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
Why was Miguel put in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Quaramonte music, even though it's illegal.
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Take a look at the design on this label.
I have seen that before.
Where?
There was a ship flying a flag just like that.
When did you see this ship?
3 months ago. It was here, at the docks.
What was the ship with the condor flag carrying?
I don't know, senor. We weren't allowed near the docks.
That's right. Usually we meet the ships when they tie up.
We play to the tourists.
Well, when the condor ship came in, we were told to go away.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, senor.
Me neither.
Have you seen anything like...
I, the hungry chief.
Why are you carrying that thing around with you, senor? Don't you know who it is?
Sure, it's Tezcatlipoca. But it's only a little carving.
It brings death, senor. Death and destruction.
What do you make of this little worm?
No good. It's dead.
Sure it's dead. You think I'd carry it around in my pocket if it wasn't? Do you guys know anything about a total eclipse?
What is it?
It's like when the sun is hidden by the moon.
He's crazy.
My cousin Alfredo swears he saw it happen once. But that was after he stupidly consumed a cocktail of peyote and antibiotics.
Would either of you guys care for a biscuit?
A dog biscuit, senor?
Are you trying to insult us?
No, really. They're good.
We'll take your word for it.
Now, I like most animals, but experience had made me wary of goats, and cats, and dogs. It looked to me like an early portrait of Orson Welles. In Quaramonte, defacing a poster was probably a capital offense. The stairs led up to the balcony. Hey, Nico!
Hola, señora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The corporation I represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Have you heard of a man named Karzak?
No, who is he?
He's the reason we came to Quaramonte. We think he's running a drug ring.
Well, I hope you find him, but I've never heard the name before.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotage?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Do you recognize the icon on this label?
Condor Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Quaramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Do you know who owned Condor Transglobal?
I've no idea.
Would you be interested in these panties? They look about your size.
Is that your best line, Chico?
I'm serious. They were an unwanted gift.
Put them away before you get overexcited.
You see this? It's my lucky piece of coal.
What's so lucky about it?
I'm not sure yet.
Nice buns.
Does this stone mean anything to you?
I think it is a spirit stone carved by a Mayan priest, no? I don't know which of their many gods it represents.
Can you tell me anything about this statue?
It is Tezcatlipoca, the god of death and pestilence. That fetish would be considered by many to be a bad omen.
Have you heard about the forthcoming eclipse?
I don't take much interest in things like that. One of the boys might know about it.
Would you like a dog biscuit?
Would you like a smack in the mouth, Chico?
It was one of Conchita's posse of hunks.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Consolidated Mining. If you are planning to stay in Quaramonte City, may I recommend the Consolidated Mining Experience. An interactive, hands-on tour of one of our deepest mines, with talking tour guides available in 3 different languages.
A tour of a mine.
Well, this is a mining company. What else did you expect?
Do you know anything about the eclipse that's due soon?
Me? No, senor.
Do you know where I could find Senor Karzak?
No, senor.
How come you're not wearing any pants?
I feel more alert without them. Kind of perky.
And your boss doesn't mind?
She suggested it.
A disgustingly handsome man. I couldn't understand why the female owner had surrounded herself with men like this. The guy was working away like an automaton. Are you looking forward to the eclipse of the sun?
Not especially. Are you?
I don't know. I've never seen one. All I know about eclipses is that you shouldn't try to view them with the naked eye.
Please, go away and let me get on with my work.
Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
Can't you see I'm busy? If I don't finish this stock report, the boss will be mad as hell.
Did you know there's an eclipse of the sun in a few weeks' time?
Yeah, Joe told me about it. He's having a party and we're all invited. Me and the boys are dressing up as evil monks.
Yeah? Cool. Ever hear of a guy called Karzak?
No, sir.
Do you know anything about the eclipse?
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I heard it's going to be pretty spectacular.
It's in a few weeks' time, isn't it?
9 days.
Thanks. Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
No.
Labano tells me he's been seeing a lot of you.
We meet sometimes for lunch, a drink. After you'd gone back to the States, I was pretty lonely, you know.
Lonely? You must have been desperate. Couldn't you just visit the zoo or something? Take a look at this.
Mon Dieu! Where did you get that kind of money?
It's not mine. I found that statement at Oubier's house. Take a look at this.
An eclipse of the sun. Why the sudden interest in astronomy?
I found the cutting in Oubier's house.
Apparently, it's only visible from Central America.
Do you have any theories about this stone?
I think that design represents a dog, a Mexican dog.
So, this is the sacred Chihuahua stone? Sheesh. Would you like a biscuit?
Gourmet dog? Have you been eating those things, Georges?
Sure, they're great. Guess what this is? Go on, guess.
It's wrought iron, probably from a chimney stack on an old stove.
Well, I suppose it could be. How did she know that?
My grandfather used to work in a foundry.
Take a look at this, Nico.
That's disgusting, Georges. Why are you carrying it around with you?
I don't know. I just can't seem to part with it. I had nothing else to talk about. I recognized the woman immediately. Last time I'd seen her was in a market in Syria. It was Pearl Henderson, the globe-trotting bargain hunter.
George Stobart, well, of all the...
Mrs. Henderson! Boy, this is some coincidence, huh?
When you've been married to a fruitcake like Dwayne as long as I have, you stop believing in coincidence.
I'd met Pearl and Dwayne on the other side of the globe in Syria. He was an army veteran who suspected he was working for the CIA, but wasn't sure. She was less obviously deranged. Is Dwayne here with you, Mrs. Henderson?
Why, sure, I couldn't leave him home alone. Since Dwayne came back from the war, we couldn't bear to be apart.
So, where is he now?
We ain't speaking.
Why aren't you speaking to Dwayne?
Because he's an old spoil-sport sourpuss. I want to visit one of those old pyramid places, but Dwayne says he has to stay in town.
Right. And you don't want to go on your own?
Well, there's no point in going to the pyramid if there's no one around to take my picture.
Is Dwayne still working for the CIA?
If he is, he doesn't know it. He's what they call a snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No, this is different. He used to think he worked for them, but the psychotherapy cured him of that. What he doesn't realize is that now he really does work for them. At least that's the way I understood it.
What brings you to Quaramonte, Pearl?
What takes me just about anywheres. The market.
You drove 2,000 miles to go shopping?
Shopping is my role in the economy of the Great Design, George.
What do you make of this stone, Pearl?
Oh, that's pretty. What's that thing supposed to be, a rabbit?
I believe it's a coyote.
Well, it sure is cute.
I was surprised she didn't ask me where she could buy one. What does this mean to you, Pearl?
What cute little feathers. Why, if you had two of those, they'd sure make nice earrings.
This isn't intended for frivolous personal adornment, Pearl. It's a dart, tipped with a fast-acting, muscle-numbing poison.
Pardon me, I stand corrected, honey.
Sometimes I got the feeling that communication with Pearl was like sending signals out into space. Maybe, if you waited long enough, you'd get an intelligent answer back. But it was a long shot. What do you make of this statue, Pearl?
Ooh-wee, that's a spitting image of Dwayne's brother Sheridan. A little less body hair, maybe, but it's him all right.
Look at this, Pearl. A tequila worm.
Don't you bring that thing anywhere near me, honey. I swear I'll scream like a hog on a hot plate.
Take a look at this news cutting, Pearl.
You'll have to read it to me, George. I left my specs in a gay bar in Santa Barbara.
Well, it's about an eclipse of the sun, which is due to occur in a few weeks' time.
You'd think the government would warn us about these kind of things.
It's not dangerous or anything. Apparently, the best place to view the eclipse is right here in Quaramonte.
Oh, my.
She didn't appear to be the slightest bit interested.
Catch you later, Pearl.
According to the sign over the door, this was Quaramonte's police station. It was Pearl's husband, Dwayne. Hey, Mr. Anderson. Good to see you again.
Do I know you, son?
George Stobart, remember? In Syria? I sold you a statue.
I remember that. Pearl was mighty vexed when the paint came off.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll give you back the $50.
No, you suckered me fair and square.
Are you still working for... you know who?
You know I can't talk about my work, George. That's between me and Uncle Sam.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Sounds like a comic book villain to me, son.
He's the man behind Condor, and the rat who kidnapped Nico.
You know, the first time I met you, I was deeply impressed with your naive simplicity. I said to Pearl, if we ever had kids, I would have wanted a boy like George. But I underestimated you, son.
I spoke to Pearl earlier.
Yeah? Did she mention that we had a kind of falling out?
Yes, she did.
She'll get over it.
Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Quaramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been in prison just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
What's the real reason the musician was in prison?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town. marched him off to jail at gunpoint on a charge of inciting a riot.
Did you drive all the way down here?
Hell no. Pearl did the driving while I followed the maps. The way she handled the wheel, you'd think she'd been trucking half her life.
Why did you bring a huge truck like that?
George, I'm on a top-secret classified mission for Uncle Sam. This truck is a rolling bomb. 400 pounds of nitrate fertilizer with a plastique initiator. They'll hear the bang in China. Gee, I'm really looking forward to this.
What do you think of these panties, Dwayne?
Lord, hot stuff, George. You buy those for your girl?
No, a guy we knew in Paris bought them for her.
Oh, you're a threesome then. Why are you looking at me like that, George?
Forget it. Do you know anything about a shipping company called Condor Transglobal?
Sure I do. You have to get up pretty early to catch Dwayne with his pants down.
What? You beat me to it?
Condor Transglobal is all wound up. Seems like my investigations scared them off.
Would you like to borrow my lucky piece of coal, Dwayne?
What's so lucky about it?
Well, we made it to Quaramonte in one piece.
When you've been here a few days, you won't look on that as luck.
Would you like a biscuit, Dwayne?
Oh no, those gourmet dog snacks bring me out in a rash.
You've tried them?
They were on special offer. Pearl bought a whole crate. When I asked her if she was thinking of keeping a dog too, she just laughed.
He was a friendly-looking guy. Hi, I'm George Stobart. What can you tell me about the mining company?
The general closed down one of their mines after the explosion. Lots of folks lost their lives. I was lucky. I only lost my legs.
Do you recognize the design on this label?
Why, sure. That's the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company logo.
Do they have an office in Quaramonte?
No, but they ship out from here.
That's what I thought. Did you see the ship with the Condor flag?
No.
But the dock is just the other side of the square.
Might as well be the other side of the moon.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
That's obsidian. It's a volcanic rock which has cooled so fast that...
Yeah. Look, I'm not interested in geology.
You're not? I suppose you want to know about the carved picture on it.
That's right.
Then the guy you should talk to is the professor. He was here a while ago.
Do you know what this statue represents?
Should do. I used to carve things like that to sell to tourists. But it scared people around here, so I stopped.
Have you heard about the eclipse of the sun?
Sure, I'm having a party to celebrate it. Drop by.
Really?
Sure. Plenty of food, plenty of wine, and everyone's invited, except the general.
What do you think of these panties?
Awesome. You wear them?
No. Someone sent them to my girlfriend.
Thoughtful.
It was one of the windows of the jail. It was one of the cell windows. The cell was vacant. There was a forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player. Hey, Miguel! He didn't hear me. Hey, Nico!
I have done just as I have been instructed, Professor. With the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavations. Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, senor. Welcome to Quaramonte.
Thanks. My name's George Stobart from California.
But what is this? An angel come down to earth.
Nicole Collard. Enchanté, mon général.
Pardon me, senorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
This is the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, senor. I am a man of many parts.
I can see that, General.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
No. No, I never heard of him.
I hear there was an accident at the mine a few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working population.
Who was the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor Oubier, a visitor, senor, like yourselves.
Did you say Oubier?
Si, senor. Professor Oubier, a French archaeologist.
What's Oubier doing in Quaramonte?
Researching our rich and glorious past, senor. The professor is planning an expedition to some Mayan ruins. He came to see me to get an excavation permit.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, senor. Quaramonte has everything.
I have a friend who wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo will only be too pleased to conduct a guided tour, when he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Quaramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
We've had enough of Quaramonte and we want out.
Am I stopping you?
The guy at the docks tells me I need an exit visa.
Ask Ronaldo. He'll make the arrangements. That's what he's here for.
Would you like a biscuit?
Are you trying to bribe me?
Well, every man has his price.
Mine is more than a dog cookie, Senor Stobart.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
That's a native carving, isn't it? Where did you get it?
We picked it up in the market, as a souvenir.
Take a look at this label.
Si, senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
The lady at the mining company told us a ship belonging to Condor was here recently.
Conchita Garcia is crazy. If there had been a ship, do you think I wouldn't have noticed?
Are you sure you never heard of Condor?
Oh, yes.
The company is registered here, in Quaramonte City.
You are mistaken, senorita.
The musicians out in the square say that a ship flying the Condor flag was birthed here.
They are simple peasants. They will go along with anything you say in the hopes of parting you from your money.
Condor is run by Karzak, isn't it?
Wrong again, senor. Karzak has nothing to do with anything called Condor, whoever he is.
Do you keep a record of companies registered in Quaramonte?
Of course, senorita. Unfortunately, all the records were destroyed by a flash flood.
Do you know anything about the forthcoming eclipse, General?
Such things do not interest me, senor.
What do you think of these panties, General?
Oh boy, fabuloso!
They're yours if you'll tell me all you know about Karzak.
I told you, I never heard of the guy. Do I get the panties now? I told you all I know.
You told me nothing. I'll be back. He had the eyes of a cocker spaniel set in a face like a deflated souffle. I couldn't help wondering what had driven him to work for a man like the General. It was General Graciento, Quaramonte's reigning slime ball. It was the map which the General had been showing to Professor Oubier.
Signor. Leave the child alone.
The television was showing what appeared to be a low-budget soap. A tall man with long blonde hair was shouting at a woman who was naked apart from a towel. It was a computer monitor with some kind of outdated game displayed on it. Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Hello, senor. How can I help you?
I'd like to visit your prisoner.
Condemned prisoners aren't allowed visitors.
Condemned?
To death. He is to be executed. Knowing my luck, I will probably have to shoot him myself.
Amnesty International's gonna hear about this. I thought Miguel was arrested for playing the wrong kind of music.
Si, senor, he was.
And that carries the death penalty?
No. You think we're crazy? While being questioned, he confessed to being an anti-government agent.
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, senor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you be willing to give a guided tour of the ruins?
I can't. The General would have a fit if I left all this paperwork.
I'm trying to get out of Quaramonte.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I'd be able to buy back half my family.
Never mind them. What about my visa?
We don't take visa.
I didn't ask if you take visa. I want you to give me a visa.
I can't help you, senor. I don't understand these things.
Do you recognize this statue?
Tezcatlipoca. The night wind. Take it away, senor. That stone is cursed.
You know anything about this eclipse?
No, senor. El General keeps me in the dark about most things.
Would you like a gourmet dog snack biscuit?
I would love one, senor. But I would have a problem with my teeth.
Toothache?
No, senor. If the General catches me eating on duty, he'll knock them out.
So long. You came on a little strong with the General.
I was merely flattering his ego, George. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Maybe, but that guy's weakness isn't in his foot. It was Pearl's husband, Dwayne. Hey, Mr. Anderson. Good to see you again.
Do I know you, son?
George Stobart, remember? In Syria? I sold you a statue.
I remember that. Pearl was mighty vexed when the paint came off.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll give you back the $50.
No, you suckered me fair and square. This here is Bertrand.
Bertrand Oubier? So, we finally caught up with you.
What the devil are you talking about?
Don't give me that crap, Oubier.
Now, hold fire, George. Suppose you tell us what the hell's going on.
This man lured Nico to his house in Paris in order to abduct her.
Nonsense. I've been in Quaramonte for the last 7 months.
And I can vouch for that. George, I think you owe Bertrand an apology.
Okay, Oubier, I'm sorry. Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
Poor Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
Why was Miguel put in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Quaramonte music, even though it's illegal.
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Tell me about the general. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In Quaramonte, we have a saying. Don't tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Hey, Nico!
Senor. Leave that child alone.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What about the one on the wall?
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Quaramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
I hear there was an accident at the mine a few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working population.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
No. No, I never heard of him.
I'll be back.
Are you still working for... you know who?
You know I can't talk about my work, George. That's between me and Uncle Sam.
Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Quaramonte.
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Quaramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been imprisoned just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
What's the real reason the musician was imprisoned?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town. Marched him off to jail at gunpoint on a charge of inciting a riot.
Did you drive all the way down here?
Hell no. Pearl did the driving while I followed the maps. The way she handled the wheel, you'd think she'd been trucking half her life.
Why did you bring a huge truck like that?
George, I'm on a top-secret classified mission for Uncle Sam. This truck is a rolling bomb. 400 pounds of nitrate fertilizer with a plastique initiator. They'll hear the bang in China. Gee, I'm really looking forward to this.
Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, he was in jail. I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man, George. All I need is a detonator.
How come you brought a truckload of explosives but no detonator?
Call me old-fashioned, but I say packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl, and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Hey, Nico!
Hola, señora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The corporation I represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Do you know Professor Oubier?
Yes. I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the General. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the General be interested in an archaeologist?
Do you have any kind of detonating device in stock?
Sure. They're kept in that cupboard.
I don't suppose you have one spare?
I can't simply give you a device like that, no without a damn good reason.
The General has a chart in his office, which he was discussing with Oubier.
Perhaps that chart will tell us where they're heading.
Maybe, but I can't get anywhere near it while the General and his sidekick are there. Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes, it looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the General didn't want us to see it. Could you distract the General while I took a look at that chart?
You're kidding. Did you see the way he was leering at me?
Yeah, you'd make a great snake charmer. Come on, 5 minutes is all I need.
Well, maybe. But it's your harebrained scheme. You do the talking.
My girlfriend has a favor she wants to ask you, General.
For you, my dear. Anything.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, no, you haven't. She's embarrassed about asking you for an interview, General.
An interview with me? Fabuloso!
Well, I want to write a story about you.
You hear that, Ronaldo? An exclusive glossy spread about your beloved General.
Si, Signor General.
Look after things here. I'm going back to my apartment and I don't want to be disturbed.
I'll get you for this, George Stobart.
Don't worry. If you're gone for more than a couple of hours, I'll come and get you.
A couple of hours?
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Hello, Signor. How can I help you?
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, Signor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you take my friend to the ruins now the General's gone?
I'd be honored, Signor.
Thanks. I'll go get her. I've made the arrangements for your visit to the temple, Pearl.
Oh, that's just great, George. Why don't you come too, honey?
I'd love to, but right now I have to save the world.
Listen, sweetie. I'm looking for an official guide to take me to the old pyramid.
For a lovely lady, I would go to the ends of the earth. For you, I will go as far as the pyramid and back. But what about your husband?
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Let's go, Beanpole.
As Pearl and Ronaldo set out for the ruined pyramid, I prepared to search the police station. It looked like a geological survey map showing the land to the southeast of Quaramonte City. About 60 miles inland and upstream was an area marked Teoculcan. I got a good look at that chart in the police station. It's a map of Quaramonte.
Does it tell us where Oubier is heading?
Yeah, a place called Teoculcan.
That's the site of the mine. I wonder why they're being so secretive about Oubier's plans. One thing's for sure. If the General's involved, they're up to no good. I'd like to talk to that musician Miguel. Take the detonator and get him out of that jail.
Here is the detonator, Dwayne.
Keep your voice down, George. You want everyone to know. You'd best go and warn Miguel that the U.S. cavalry's on the way.
Okay. Hey, Miguel.
What is it? What is happening?
We're getting out of here.
Who's we? They've sent the Delta Force?
Nope.
The Impossible Missions Force?
Don't make me sick. Much better.
Who then?
A retired greetings card salesman from Ohio.
I'm doomed.
You're not the only one.
I should have known you'd be trouble the moment I saw you.
Look, I can explain everything.
Get in that cell, now.
And what if I refuse?
He'll shoot you.
Okay, here I am, going quietly into the cell.
Very wise, not Americano scum.
One of the reasons I hate guns so much is the way they make people so damned impolite.
I hope you're enjoying your vacation, Senor Stobart.
Go polish your weapon, Ronaldo.
This was part of your plan, right?
Well, in a manner of speaking, no. I was all out of ideas. It was up to Nico now.
So, here we are.
You've changed.
I thought I would slip into something more comfortable.
The stench of cheap cologne rolled over me like tear gas.
So, what do you want to know about me? Ask and I will answer. I will deny you nothing. I am a very giving person.
How nice for your friends.
Your eyes are glittering like stars.
His damn cologne was making my eyes water. I was running out of sofa.
As spirited as you are beautiful, I admire that.
As long as he admired it from afar. A lava lamp, hip in a retro way. I had no doubt the general thought it was hip, full stop. A tiger skin lay on the floor. It was a portrait of some thug in a uniform. A stuffed swordfish. Cutting-edge technology, in 1978 at any rate. Is that a lava lamp?
Sure, it's more impressive in the dark. I'll close the blinds.
No, don't do that. Not on such a beautiful day. Big fish. Catch it yourself?
Catch it? Fishing poles are for children.
Then how did... Are those bullet holes?
2 magazines on full automatic. It put up quite a fight.
Who's the guy with the hat and the fat cigar?
My mother.
That tiger skin. You didn't kill it yourself, did you?
Alas, no. I had to import a synthetic one from the United States. It is very comfortable to lie on, naked.
Unfortunately, I'm allergic to man-made fibers.
Mom! What is going on here?
Nothing, Mom. I was...
I'm in uniform. And when I'm in uniform, it's...
Madame la Presidente, sorry, Madame la Presidente.
Now, what is going on here?
Nothing, Madame la Presidente. I was just showing my friend Nico some of the cool stuff I've got.
Hi.
Good afternoon, señorita. And just what are your intentions toward my son?
Intentions? We were just talking.
How nice. She has good bone structure, Raoul. Has she any brains?
She's a reporter.
Is she? And what sort of questions has she been asking?
I'm a freelance photojournalist. I do lifestyle features.
For what sort of magazines?
It looked safest to play dumb, with good bone structure. Haya, lifestyle of the super rich and vainglorious, Envy magazine,
Excellent! Raoul, you've chosen well for a change.
It was pretty obvious who pulled the strings around here. I hope George was making good use of the time I was buying him.
And then it goes...
Pa 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 pa.
And when you were in this band of yours, you used to play that song for 2 hours?
Yeah, we were really famous at our college. Still, ours wasn't as good as the original version.
I have never heard that song before, yet I have no doubt that this must be true.
Hey! Psst! Hey, George!
Dwayne Henderson. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. Get to the American consul and tell him I've been imprisoned without charge.
Get real, George. He was the previous occupant of that cell you're in. We're gonna have to use good old American know-how to get you out of there.
Uh-oh.
That, and this truck full of explosives I've got here.
Dwayne, listen to me. You'll kill all of us.
You're such a naysayer, George. It'll go like clockwork. Negative to negative, it's positive to positive. You gotta get the bare copper wire here. Let me just, damn. Alright, I'll just hook that up. All right, there we go. Okay, just a minute. I've got to get to a safe distance.
Quick, Miguel, hit the mattress.
You have strange customs up north.
Here we go!
Too late.
Are we dead yet?
Horse shit.
What happened to the explosives?
There ain't no explosives. My dumbass supplier must have given me organic fertilizer instead of chemical. All I got here is 400 pounds of lightly fried horse apples.
That's a lovely image, Dwayne. Never mind, I'll think of something. I can't believe that punk jailed me for no reason at all.
So? It happens.
But I'm a U.S. citizen.
See? That's true. They dare not execute you.
Yeah? Well, that's something.
They'll have to arrange an accident for you instead.
Why is that noose hanging from the bars?
Ronaldo strung it up, for me to hang myself. Don't cry for me, Senor Stubbard. When I am dead, the goddess will take my soul to rest in paradise.
Listen to me, Miguel. You give me that rope, and I'll get us out of here. Is there somewhere you can hide from the General?
Of course. My friends have a boat ready to take me upriver. But how are you going to break out of here with just a short piece of rope?
I'm not sure. But I'll think of something.
If your plan doesn't work, will you let me hang myself in peace?
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
Yes. The old man spoke of him.
The foreigner? Professor Oubier?
That's right. This man Karzak is Oubier's boss.
Hey, Dwayne, I want you to tie this rope to your truck and then drive forward. I'd had no idea whether this was really going to work, but I'd seen it in a black and white western. Of course, Hopalong was using a horse and Dwayne had a 4-ton truck, but hey, the principle's sound.
Anything you say, George!
Please forgive my mother. She can be a little difficult.
Oh, my feet, Raoul! Propose, you idiot!
Don't mind her. She just wants grandchildren.
Don't think I can't hear you, Raoul. I want the worthy successor, and you're not it. Propose now or I'll do it for you.
Look, Nico, we haven't known each other very long, but... What the hell was that?
I didn't know what was going on, but Georges had to be involved in it somewhere.
I ain't gonna say a thing, 'cause that sweet sound of falling masonry says it all.
Quick, senor, the river.
Huh? Wait, what about Nico?
Georges, what have you done? You only had to sneak a look at the chart, and it's turned into World War III.
No time to explain. Come on.
Don't move, terrorist scum.
You talking to me, Junior?
Yes, I'm talking to you, fat man. And my name's not Junior.
A word to the wise, Junior. You carry on waving that pea shooter in my face, and the next person who sees it is gonna be your proctologist. Savvy?
General, I am happy to report that I have apprehended the terrorists. You idiot, not them. The other American and the French woman. They're the ones.
When I recovered consciousness, I was alone, washed up on the riverbank. My head was aching fiercely, and my mouth tasted like a swamp. But I followed the sound and discovered a treehouse in a nearby clearing.
Anyone home?
That vine rope could be useful. I placed the newspaper clipping over the damp leaves. As I held the fetish to the iron rim of the wheel, a shower of sparks cascaded onto the leaves.
Quick, man! Put out that fire! I've got a sick woman up here.
Sorry, Father, but I needed to attract your attention.
Who are you? And what do you want?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
I'm Father Hubert. I don't suppose you speak French.
Huh? Why do you want to know that?
I found a young woman with a fever by the river this morning. The poor girl is close to death. And there's nothing I can do for her but pray. I don't understand her, but I think she's speaking French.
Hang on. That must be Nico. That's my girlfriend you've got in your treehouse. What's the matter with her?
She's been bitten by a venomous river snake.
But can't you do something for her? There's a cure, isn't there?
I ran out of penicillin and morphine years ago, but the local people speak of a root which they believe will counteract the poison.
Where can I find this root?
I don't know, but maybe the shaman at the village can tell us.
Will you show me the way to the village?
Me? Oh, but I can't.
Can't? Nico's life depends on it.
You're right. But I should, despite my own guilt and shame. But I can't go as a representative of God with a creased collar.
A creased collar? You mean you put your personal attire higher than the life of a sick woman?
I will not go to that village looking anything but my best.
Give me your collar. I'm sure I can find a way to press it.
Thank you myself. In the meantime, I must contemplate my sermon.
There was obviously more than a creased collar bothering the priest. What are you doing out here in the jungle?
God's work. Not quite the destination I had in mind when I set out, but well, you know what they say? Mysterious ways and so on.
You didn't plan to end up here?
No. I was on my way to the miners' camp in the north. I was stuck here when my boat capsized on the river.
That's exactly what happened to me. How long have you been here?
11 years.
The stones were too heavy to turn by hand. So there I was, hundreds of miles from civilization, doing the housework for a priest. It's a strange world. It was heavy. I guess that was intentional. The leverage from the cross allowed me to turn one of the stones, but the other one remained stationary. The vine provided a drive belt to connect the two stones. The press worked surprisingly well on the collar. Here's your collar, Father.
Thank you, George. You probably think it a little odd of me to make such a fuss.
Oh, no. If I've been living in the jungle for 11 years, I'd be completely screwy, too.
Screwy? Yes, perhaps I am. Ever since my last visit to that village.
Do you want to tell me what happened at the village?
I forgot my vows. I let myself be overwhelmed by the beauty of this unspoiled paradise, and in a moment of weakness, animal passion reared its rampant head.
You know, you should be writing romantic novels. Did you experience some kind of a physical liaison at the village?
Yes, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I found myself doing the monkey dance.
I've never heard a heard called that before. And I didn't want to pry any deeper into Hubert's murky past. Now you've got your collar back, will you take me to the village?
I've still not finished my sermon.
Look, Father, I still don't know why you're so reluctant to visit that village, and it's none of my business. Whatever the reason, it can't be more important than saving Nico's life.
You're right. I must be crazy. We must make haste if we're to reach the village before nightfall.
By the time we reached the village, it was sunset.
Hello, boys. Glad to see you're still wearing the underpants. What?
They're the best Christmas present we ever had, Father.
Mine are too tight.
Well, we all have our cross to bear. This is George. He has a request to make. I'm afraid I can't stay. Good luck, George.
That's a relief. I never feel comfortable with him about.
Me neither. These damn pants keep riding right up my butt.
So, what do you want?
My girlfriend has been bitten by a snake.
So, everyone in my family has been bitten by snakes.
I was bitten by a dormouse once.
She's real sick. I hoped your wise man might have medicine.
Wise man? You must have the wrong village.
Father Hubert said there was a wise man in the village who could help me.
Ooh, he must mean the old man, the shaman.
I'd like to see the shaman, please.
You can't just go walking in there and demand to speak to the shaman.
Why not?
You have to observe the protocol. The shaman demands tribute.
Tribute? You mean like a gift?
That's right.
The eternal question. What do you give a man who has everything? Here, he'll like these biscuits.
If you say so. He liked the biscuits, especially the black ones. He wants to know if you've any more.
I put the Mayan stone in the empty box. Here, I found some more of those biscuits for the shaman.
I'll give them to him. The shaman wants to talk to you.
I hoped he would. Well, it's been nice to talk to you guys. Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Please, sit down. Welcome, George.
Thanks.
It has long been foretold that a white man would bring the coyote stone to this village.
My girlfriend's been bitten by a snake.
And you want me to heal her?
That's the idea. Can you do it?
I'm not sure. My gums aren't what they used to be.
Listen, my girlfriend's in a coma. Please, old man, give me the root.
What root?
Father Hubert told me of a root which could cure the bite of the river snake.
There's nothing sacred with these people. That was our secret, known only to members of my tribe.
If that root is my chance of saving Nico's life, then I want it. Fast.
There is time yet, George Stobart. Time to learn why you were called here.
Why is Father Hubert so reluctant to visit the village?
I don't know. He used to come here a lot, but then he just stopped. You'd think he'd want to spend some time with his kids.
Did you say Father Hubert has kids?
3 girls and 5 boys by my reckoning. All conceived in the same week at the Feast of the Monkey Dance.
Fine. If I listen to your story, then will you give me the route?
The eel travels far, but still returns to the place of his spawning.
And look, I'm running a tight schedule, so can you skip the riddles?
Many years ago, when the world was young, the great god and king Quetzalcoatl was defeated by trickery and deceit. His enemy Tezcatlipoca took his place as leader and demanded terrible human sacrifices. A group of loyal priests found a way to trap Tezcatlipoca. But his powers were so great, they knew he would not remain trapped forever. His time of incarceration would end with the eclipse, which marked the close of the Fifth Age. So the priests fashioned 3 obsidian stones which contained the power to seal the mirror for all time. But before the stones could be put in place, they were seized by the invading Spanish.
But how did they trap Tez, the evil god?
They built a pyramid which they told Tezcatlipoca was dedicated to him. At its center, they fashioned a huge mirror of perfectly smooth obsidian. Luring him into the pyramid with praise and flattery, they used sorcery to ensnare him in the mirror.
There's an eclipse of the sun due very soon, isn't there?
Correct. The eclipse which marks the ending of the Fifth Age will come before the next full moon.
Less than 2 weeks. I didn't really believe that Tezcatlipoca would return, but I figured Karzak's plans were in some way connected. What happened to the stones?
They were taken by the Spanish to the coastal town that is now called Quaramonte City. Only 1 stone reached Spain. The other 2 fell into the hands of buccaneers. The Jaguar stone was captured by an English captain, El Draco. The Eagle stone was taken by a pirate called Ketch. The 3rd stone, the Coyote stone, reached Spain safely. That is the stone in your possession.
Tell me more about the Jaguar stone.
Many centuries ago, the port of Quaramonte was entered by a ship flying Spanish colors. The captain, the man known as El Draco, sent soldiers ashore. Only when the soldiers arrested the mayor did the people realize that they were English privateers. The mayor was held hostage while the soldiers looted and plundered the city. Amongst the treasures they stole was the Jaguar stone.
Where is the Jaguar stone now?
I suppose El Draco took it back to his homeland, across the Great Sea.
To England? Tell me more about the Eagle stone.
The stone was loaded onto a galleon with many valuable artifacts plundered by the Spanish. But shortly after leaving harbor, a terrible squall blew up and damaged the ship. The ship was intercepted by a bloodthirsty pirate, Captain Ketch. Ketch made short work of overpowering the crew, stealing the treasure, and sinking the Spanish ship.
Where's the Eagle stone now?
Nobody knows for sure. Ketch retired from piracy and bought an island in the Caribbean.
What do I do when I find the stones?
Bring them here to me and I shall prepare you. The stones must be taken to the heart of the pyramid. Only there can they be used to seal the gate by which Tezcatlipoca will return to this world.
Suppose I was to believe there was anything in your story, other than the rambling delusions of a seriously wacky old man. Suppose I was to swallow it, hook, line, and kitchen sink. What then?
Then you would see that the fate of the human race rests upon your shoulders.
Do I get anything to help me combat Tezcatlipoca?
Like what?
Well, a magical weapon?
Get real, George.
I don't suppose this would be any use to you.
It sure would. This wax on a stick will change our lives.
What do you want it for?
To decorate our bodies for the monkey dance.
Can you show me the way to the pyramid of Tezcatlipoca?
Not until you possess all 3 stones.
Now do I get the route?
Here, take it. Make haste if you wish to save the girl's life. The hummingbird sings to me of death to come.
Now you're talking in riddles again. Listen, is it okay if I crash here? I've got no chance of finding my way through the jungle in the dark.
You're welcome, but you probably won't get much sleep. Tonight's the night of the monkey dance.
I left the village at dawn and stumbled back through the jungle in a post-party daze. It was just like sneaking back to my parents' house when I was younger. Except Oakland didn't have monkeys or parrots. The cone was ideal as a makeshift container. As the liquid was squeezed from the root, it collected in the cone.
Look, Hubert, the antidote. Well, what are you waiting for? Get it, girl, quickly.
Nico. Here, drink this.
Oh, George, it's horrible.
Just swallow it down. Okay, try and rest now, darling. You'll need all your strength when we go after the other 2 stones.
Other stones? What other stones? What have you gotten me into now, George Stobart?
The patient is sounding more like her old self already. Nico recovered quickly from her fever. To save time, we decided to split up and look for each stone independently. I traced the pirate Ketch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called Ketch's Landing. Hi, is this Ketch's Landing?
Yeah, that's right.
My name's George Stobart. You're a surveyor, right, Mr.
Bronson. And of course I'm a surveyor. Why the hell else would I have a theodolite?
I don't know. Hobby, maybe?
Yeah, right. What brings you here, anyway?
I'm searching for an ancient Mayan artifact.
What is it? Some kind of jewel?
No, it's obsidian. A black stone with supposedly mystic powers.
You're nuts.
This is similar to the stone I'm looking for.
What makes you think you'll find it here?
Because when the stones were stolen in the 17th century...
Hold it! The stones have been lost for 300 years?
Approximately.
And you're hoping to find them again? You're nuts. And why here?
A wise old Indian shaman told me he saw the stones in a vision.
Ha ha. That's rich. Listen, I got work to do, okay?
Catch you later, Bronson.
You want to buy some fish?
Nah, I don't like fish. What's your name?
Rio. It means river. What about you?
George. It means... well, it's just a name. No school today?
No, sir.
What about your education?
I can fish, sail, and swim. I've been looking after myself since I was 6, and I'm bilingual.
Aren't you a little overqualified for a beach bum?
Well, you know, there's a lot of competition.
Is it true that Captain Ketch lived around here?
That's right. That's his house up on the hill. It's a museum now.
Yeah? That's exactly what I need. Thanks, kid.
You won't get inside, you know. The old ladies close it down.
Who are these old ladies you mentioned?
Miss Frost and Miss Mina Ketch.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. They're going to regret it, you know. The man's a crook.
It was locked.
The house is closed.
How come?
It is undergoing refurbishment.
Refurbishment? Where are the workmen?
Preparation is half the work, young man. The intention is to prepare the museum for the new century.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum. It would look nice in neon.
A museum for a pirate? There was a stony silence.
Frederick Ketch was emphatically not a pirate. It's precisely this sort of vile misrepresentation that Mr. Bronson is seeking to rebalance.
Oh? How?
Mr. Bronson has kindly agreed to undertake the museum's refurbishment at a very reasonable price. He understands the importance of a sense of history.
Funny. That's not the impression I got of Bronson at all.
He also understands spherical geometry.
Mina?
Well, he does.
Listen, ma'am. I came a long way to visit this place.
If we make an exception in your case, everyone will want to get in.
Pardon me, but I didn't exactly have to fight my way through the crowds.
You're the second visitor we've had today.
No, I'm sorry, but it's impossible.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stobart. Would you care for tea?
No, thank you, ma'am. I don't like tea. Is that your cat?
Yes, it is.
That's Ruddles.
Do you like cats, Mr. Stobart?
I love them. They're so cute with their claws and their little puckered butts.
Aren't they, though?
Don't encourage him, Mina.
You're really fond of that cat, aren't you?
He is our companion and our solace.
I thought about catnapping the little monster until they let me in, but it wasn't my style. Maybe there was some other way I could use their affection for the cat to get me into the house. I've been talking to Rio, the little fisher boy.
I'll thank you not to mention that little wretch in my presence.
Dirty little whelk. Nasty fishy boy.
That will do, Mina.
I gather you don't have much time for the little boy.
That child is a delinquent, Mr. Stobart.
Yeah, well, he's only, what, 11, maybe?
A knave with one hand on the tops.
What is it about Rio that you don't like, Miss Frost?
Well, once upon a time, he and Emily...
Be quiet this instant, Mina.
What can you tell me about Emily?
Emily? What business can she be of yours?
Her parents were killed in a typhoon.
We, as her only living relatives, took it upon ourselves to raise the child.
It's good to know Charity isn't dead.
Oh, but she is. Washed overboard in the typhoon.
Mr. Stobart wasn't talking about Emily's mother. He was being sarcastic.
What else can you tell me about Emily?
How dare you pry into our family in this way? I refuse to answer any more of your impertinent questions.
Okay, it was time for diversionary tactics. I thought I saw a little girl down on the beach.
You must be mistaken.
He must be mistaken. Mustn't he, Frost?
I'm sure I'm not. A little girl and that young fisher boy.
What? It's not possible. What were they doing?
Oh, the kinds of things that all little boys and girls get up to at their age.
When I was a little girl, we used to play cows and milkmaids.
Well betide you if you're lying to us, Mr. Stobart. Heaven help you.
With a creak of ancient corsetry, the sisters sailed majestically over the distant horizon. Can you let me have a fish, kid?
I thought you said you don't like fish.
It's not for me. It's a present.
For the old ladies? Well, it makes a change from flowers and candy.
No, it's for their cat.
Okay. What do I get out of it?
I can pay you. I've got Quaramonte in dollars, French francs, and traveler's checks.
You must be joking. The nearest bank is 3 islands away.
Is this worm worth a fish?
Could be good bait. How did it die?
I think it drowned in tequila.
Just like my Uncle Gabriel. Yeah, I'll have that. Okay, I'll get you a fish. It might take a while, though.
No luck with a fish?
No, man. They don't want bite. That's 'cause they know there's a storm brewing.
Storm? I don't think so.
Hey! I caught a bite!
You have?
It's a big one! A real big one!
Reel him in, Rio. Jeez, it must be a whale or something.
Rustiest whale I ever see.
I still need a fish, Rio.
Okay, make me try again.
Maybe you better change your bait. The only serviceable part of the bicycle's wreck was a rubber inner tube. You just never know when you're going to need stuff like that.
There's a fish, my man.
I can't put it in my pocket while it's flapping about like that.
No problem.
The ladder extended easily. That should get the old cat dancing. I just hoped it didn't give itself a cardiac. I put the ball in the catapult. Took aim. Yes! Okay, so it was a lucky shot, but I'd knocked the theodolite target clean off the end of the flagpole.
What the hell's going on here?
Hi, Bronson. Nice to see you, too.
You again. Have you been screwing around with my theodolite target? Where is it? I had to climb out of the window to put that one on. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go through all that again.
Not this time. The house is locked up and the sisters aren't here.
Hell's teeth! I'll have to put the spare target on the other flagpole. A whole morning's work wasted. I'm gonna fix all this and then I'm gonna fix you, you hear?
Yeah? Fine. I'll be waiting. What you doing, Bronson? Just hanging around?
I'm gonna kill you for this, Stobart! Get me down from here!
What, so you can kill me? Gee, you talked me out of it, Bronson. I felt a little guilty about leaving Bronson up there, but not much, obviously. The marker was a bright, shiny thing, and I have a weakness for bright, shiny things. It wasn't going to be much use without the theodolite, though. With Bronson out of the way, I could finally get a clear look at the plans. Engineers' drawings didn't mean much to me, but one thing was clear. These plans were for a 5-story, 200-roomed, luxury, pirate-themed hotel. Another stain on the bedspread of paradise.
You there! Why is Mr. Bronson hanging from that flagpole?
He climbed up there of his own accord.
Then help him, you stupid man! Quickly, before he falls!
Here, Bronson's plans.
This means nothing to me.
She's not wearing her reading glasses.
Ah, wait! Yes, I see now. I see it all too clearly. That man is planning to build a huge hotel. Bronson is a confidence trickster. Meanwhile, we have been duped. I'm glad we didn't sign his contract.
Oh, I hate tricksters, especially confident ones.
Come, Mina. Mr. Bronson, you may consider yourself persona non grata.
Yes! Cave Canum!
Kindly disentangle yourself from our flagpole and eject yourself from our property this very minute.
Disentangle! Eject!
Hey, cut that out, you crazy old bat!
How dare you! Mina isn't crazy, she's just engagingly eccentric.
Yeah, as a bedbug. Ouch!
Lovely as this little vista is, I'd be really grateful if you could let me into the museum now.
Certainly, young man. We are most grateful to you for exposing this scoundrel, Mina the Lock.
Thanks, ladies.
Stobart, be a pal. Get these harpies off me. Ooh!
While George was basking in the sun-drenched Caribbean, I went to London. It was a long shot, but I thought I'd start my search for the Jaguar Stone at the British Museum. It was a stone identical in size and style to the Coyote Stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar. It was a small flat square of polished obsidian, nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the scrying mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake.
Can I help you, miss?
Have you ever heard of an English sea captain called El Draco?
El Draco? Not a very English name.
I think that's what the Spanish would have called him. It was about the time of the conquistadors.
16th century. Oh, I know. That's what the Spanish called Sir Francis Drake.
Francis Drake? Have you got anything here that belonged to him?
Indeed, miss. We have a couple of artifacts he brought back from one of his journeys.
What can you tell me about the scrying mirror?
Ah, that belonged to the alchemist and part-time Elizabethan spy, Dr. John Dee. It was brought back from the New World by Sir Francis Drake and presented to him. It's Mayan, you know.
What is a scrying mirror?
It's rather like a crystal ball, and you can't see anything in it. Apparently, he had a partner who used it to talk with angels. If you ask me, you were barking mad.
What can you tell me about that stone with a jaguar on it?
The so-called Jaguar Stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented with, as you already know, the more famous scrying mirror to John Dee. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
There. John Dee's famous scrying mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Who? Tizletlik... I can't even say it. Ah, there's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me. This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Oubier?
Eh? What? You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle? France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
I want to warn you about Carzak.
Really? My dear girl, there's nothing you can tell me about Carzak I don't already know. You're surprised I teamed up with him? An astute step on my behalf, even if I say so myself. His money has enabled me to continue my important archaeological research.
Professor Oubier, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way. It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Oubier showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for their crack security team to finish their tea. I had to get after him. Don't you think it's suspicious that Oubier has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo, an exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess, moored down by Tower Bridge. Why do you ask?
Just wondering.
Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Oubier.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away. Hello?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Oubier, and fast. The key unlocked the case. I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.
The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective. March 20th. 1670 fix. Engaged frigate off Fan Salvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. Maybe he was a part-time pirate. Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what? The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk. Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical. Like Jesus or Florence Nightingale. The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate. That might come in useful, in ticklish situations.
Surprise!
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? Pfft. I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws?
Jeez.
Make your mind up.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah, I know. Scary-looking guy, huh?
He was my great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, you have his eyes. That cross you're wearing, Emily?
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
It's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
The cat made short work of the feather, tearing it into a blizzard of small pieces. There was nothing else on the bicycle wreck I could use. What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah? Why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed with me.
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night, when I got home with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? A sicker puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
What do you need to catch a tiger fish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
Hey, this is just what you need to make a fly.
Thanks. Let's hope them tiger fish hungry. A deal's a deal. Here's a conch.
Why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me, stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy. Here, I've got a conch. Would you like it?
Dunno. Aunt Frost told me never to take presents from strange men.
I'm not a strange man.
Then why are you called Jaws, Jaws? That's a stupid name.
I'm not called... Look, conch, pretty. Swap for the cross, yes or no? Right, this thing's going out the window.
Okay, we'll do swapsies.
Ketch's cross slipped snugly into the penholder.
What you doing, Jaws?
I've put your cross in this little hole in the desk.
Why?
Impulse, mainly, with a dash of irrational intuition.
Silly. Only women have intuition.
The lantern cast a strong light over the desktop. The light cast a shadow of the cross. And the shadow fell precisely over a small, unnamed island shaped like a skull. That must be it. Ketch's Treasure Island.
Uh-oh. That's Zombie Island. It's a bad place.
No kidding? Well, bad place or not, that's my next port of call.
Can I come too?
The hell you can.
I never get to leave the house.
Do you know anything about pirate treasure?
Man, that's all stories. There's no such thing as a real pirate treasure.
Would you take me to, Zombie Island?
In this weather? You're mad, man.
The rain will keep the zombies indoors. Just say I did meet a zombie. What would you do?
There ain't no zombies on Zombie Island. At least, not anymore. It's uninhabited.
Good. What do you mean, not anymore?
You still want to go?
I guess.
Well, I ain't had no luck with them tigerfish. And with the mood my sister is in, I'll be safer with the zombies.
So, this was Zombie Island. Somehow I'd been expecting something more sinister. Come on, Rio. Let's find that treasure.
No, thanks. I'm staying right here.
Oh, come on. You said yourself there's no zombies left.
Yeah, but that was while there was a big pile of seawater between me and this place. All me have now is this little bit between the boat and the shore, and I'm hanging on to it.
Rio's boat was strewn with fishing nets and tackle. The cliff stopped me getting off the beach. The outcrop was about the only feature on the cliff face. It was too high. I couldn't get up there. Could I borrow your net?
Yeah, man, no problem. You planning on catching some fish?
Nope. I'm after a big rock. Well, here I go. Wish me luck, Rio.
Good luck, George. Watch out for the walking dead.
I stumbled down dark stairwells for what seemed like forever, until suddenly I found myself, wow, in an abandoned London Underground station. This place must have been closed down decades ago. The slot was much too thin for my fingers. There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip. I pushed the hair clip into the slot and whatever was stuck there disappeared into the machine. I pulled out an old English penny. An ancient bar of chocolate dropped into the tray at the bottom of the machine. And as a special bonus, the penny dropped through to the reject bucket. I took the ancient bar of chocolate. I pulled out an old English penny. The ghost obviously didn't want to talk. Perhaps it was shy. The date on the poster was before I was born. It looked just like the modern one. A latch lock stopped me getting into the cupboard. The blade of the dagger just fitted between the door and the softwood frame. The door gave slightly, and then held firm. My fingers were too big to reach into the tiny crack. The machine wasn't about to weigh me for nothing. I put the old penny into the slot, the needle twitched rustily, and the machine spat out a card. I remembered my student days when I regularly forgot my house keys. A wiggle with the thick card between the frame and the lock, and the latch lifted. The train was my ride out of it. I could worry about not having a ticket when I got to the docks.
The end of the reed was too narrow for the dart to fit into. As soon as I stooped to investigate the hole, its inhabitant disappeared into the darkness. The end of the reed had been neatly bitten off. Now I knew what was living in there. A long-toothed, snarling, furry wild thing. The dart fitted snugly into the reed. Great. I was tooled up and dangerous. The creeper just came away from the rock as I pulled it. It was a needle of rock in the middle of the clearing. It didn't look like a natural formation. I remembered Ketch's log. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? Seemed pretty relevant now. The creeper didn't look like it would hold my weight. No good. I'd have to be bitten by a radioactive spider before I stood any chance of getting up there. The net attached easily enough to the creeper and seemed secure. Great. I'd created some sort of creeper marker fishing net assembly. Sometimes I terrify myself with my creative genius. I'd successfully got the marker into a position near the top of the needle simply by using the kind of lateral thinking that can get you institutionalized. What the? Steady, guy. It's just a monkey. Three shallow holes had been made in the rock. Initials had been carved into the rock. Initials carved into the stone read F.K. Frederick Ketch had been here. The hill I was on had reminded me of a camel's hump as I'd climbed up it. Now I had to see what I could see. It was a good cave for hiding treasure in. Shame about the flooding problem. A needle rock. Eye of the needle? Heck, Ketch could have hidden his treasure anywhere. This island's full of hiding places. It was the marker which I had raised up the needle of rock. I could see the marker I had fastened on the rock down in the forest, and right in line with it, that had to be where Ketch had hidden his treasure.
The Xibalba princess lay at anchor just below Tower Bridge. I knew I'd found the right ship as soon as I saw Pablo at the rail. Got you.
But the collar woman was there. They'll know it was me.
But you have the stone. The right stone, you're sure?
Yes, of course, it's the Jaguar stone. No possible mistake. Here it is. Karzak, please. The police will be looking for me soon. You're going to get me out of the country, aren't you?
Stop your whining, Oubier. Do you have any idea what this stone symbolizes?
I thought you just wanted it to frighten the natives.
Fool. I intend to cast this stone into the sea.
But why? It's unique.
Exactly. With it gone, the Mayan priest's plan to destroy Tezcatlipoca cannot succeed.
I can assure you that Tezcatlipoca is a mythical figure.
Such a small mind you live in. Tezcatlipoca is real. I have seen him in my dreams. We have spoken of his plans for this world. We have spoken of your part in these plans.
My part?
He told me you would be useful. He told me how to crush your spirit by turning you to drugs.
My wife died. You know that full well. She was my world, my everything.
And now, you are no longer useful. She called out your name as she died, you know.
What? What are you saying?
And then they thought you'd done it. It all worked perfectly.
You? It was you? You bastard! You monster! For the love of God, Karzak!
Which one?
There were no signs of life, but I checked that Oubier really was beyond help. We were going to need the stone to thwart Karzak. I knew Oubier would have approved. It was the Jaguar stone, all right.
Pirates? I was about to make good my escape when...
Cut! Who the hell are you?
I can explain everything.
Don't bother.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were making a movie.
So who are you?
Stobart. George Stobart. 2 B's and 2 T's.
It's okay, Mr. Hawks. He wasn't in the shot.
Hawks? This had to be Carlton Hawks, the newest enfant terrible of Tinseltown. I'd read about him. Mailroom boy makes good. Nice to know it was still possible to get to be a director armed with only an encyclopedic knowledge of postal charges.
Stay out of the way, surfer boy. I'll deal with you later.
Surfer boy? What's the name of the movie?
Are you trying to be funny?
No.
It's Treasure Island, the only book I ever read twice.
I don't recall any girls in Treasure Island.
Gotta think box office. People like that kind of thing.
What other changes have you made to the story?
Just a few minor details.
You haven't written out Long John Silver.
Are you questioning my integrity as an artist? Of course Silver's still in it. We've even hung on to Captain Flint.
His parrot.
His trained attack falcon. Why do you think Blind Pew's blind?
Did you say you've changed the ending of the story?
That's right.
Do they find the treasure?
Yeah, but that comes later, after they've escaped the volcanic eruption.
A volcano?
Sure. Krakatoa.
All the millions spent on a movie, and nobody thinks to buy an atlas. You know what the locals call this place, don't you?
No, but I guess you're gonna tell me.
Zombie Island.
Zombies?
A crazed gleam came into his eye.
Get me the writers. Get me makeup. I want zombie pirates in this movie by the end of today.
Hi there, George Stobart.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Haiku McEwen.
You're playing Jim Hawkins, right?
Jimbo. I had Mr. Hawks change his name.
Jimbo Hawkins, right. Is your name really Haiku?
Yeah. It was my mom's idea, okay? When I was born, I was so small and perfectly formed I reminded her of a Japanese poem.
Well, I guess it could have been worse. She could have called you Limerick.
That's my middle name.
Did you always want to be an actor?
I don't think of what I do as acting, man.
You're not alone.
It's more like I'm the voice of my generation. What I'm saying for the kids on the street.
Which is what? I'm crap, I'm going nowhere?
Huh? What are you saying, man?
Stobart, get out of shot. Positions, everybody.
I'll get a flip chart and explain it to you later, Haiku.
Haiku, baby, are you ready?
Okay, man. Which scene is this?
You've been captured by Silver's accomplice, Pirate Babs, who's fallen in love with you.
That whirring sound you can hear? It's Robert Louis Stevenson spinning in his grave.
Okay, people. Top of page 76, Sharon.
What about my big speech?
It's been cut. Everybody ready?
Up to speed.
Quiet on the set. Okay, let's make magic.
Oh, please.
And action!
Why don't you forget that dumb old squire and his bunch of merry men? Can't you see we were made for each other?
I know, but Squire Trelawney saved my life, Captain Babs. Why, if it hadn't have been for him, that giant octopus would have made mincemeat out of me.
But right now he thinks you're a traitor. He's locked you out of the stockade, Jimbo.
That 20-foot-high wall with spikes might have kept out Silver's men, but it ain't gonna stop me.
Oh, Jimbo.
And cut! Good heavy breathing, Sharon.
Natch, I'm a pro.
Did you get the heavy breathing, Flash?
Did I ever, boss? We should have made this movie in 3D.
Haiku, you were great. We're setting up for the stunt now, so get a bite to eat. Savage, on set, damn it.
The bun was so stale it felt like a small rock. I'd seen a lot of strange things on this island, but here was a bush that was buzzing. Hi, George Stobart.
Hello, mate.
You're English, right?
Normally you don't miss much, do you? Bert Savage. What have you got there?
Would you like a pancake, Bert?
Don't mind if I do.
The pancake oozed maple syrup all over Bert's chins.
You put bloody syrup on that pancake. Now it's messed me all up.
Those hornets were not pleased.
Get that camera rolling. This could be good. Cut and printed. That was brilliant, folks. Okay, the next scene is down on the beach. This is where Hawkins finds the treasure in the Cave of the Crabs.
Would those be giant killer crabs by any chance?
Giant mutant killer crabs with attitude.
There it was, the rock I'd seen from the camel's hump. Now that I was close up, I could make out a small cave near the top of the pillar.
Hey, you! Trouble!
Who, me?
I want you to stay right where I can keep an eye on you.
I'm not one of your lackeys, Hawks. I go where I like.
Not here, you don't. The movie company has rented this island for the duration. You're trespassing. Do as you're told or you're gone.
I was talking to Mr. Savage, the stuntman. Is he all right?
What makes you say that?
He's not making any sense.
The guy's English.
Why don't you use that cave up on the rock pillar at the end of the beach?
We don't have a stuntman anymore.
Hey, I'll do the stunt.
I appreciate the offer, but if you fall, you'll sue us.
No, I won't.
Everybody hear that?
I heard it.
Good enough, we're covered. Got any experience?
Death-defying leaps, desperate fistfights, getting caught in explosions, you name it.
Okay, people, move out. We're shooting the scene at the end of the beach.
No, we're not. The camera's still bogged down.
Shoot, I forgot about that. No go, Stobart. We'll have to use this cave after all.
Flash?
Yep.
We can't film at the Needle Rock because the camera's bogged down, right?
You got it, champ.
So why can't we use the portable camera instead?
You know, that's a pretty smart idea.
I've been talking to the cameraman. He's got a portable camera.
So?
So you can use the cave in that rock pillar at the end of the beach. That's a dramatic cave if ever I saw one.
We ain't got a stabilized harness for it. The camera will wobble.
Did D.W. Griffiths have a stabilized harness when he made Birth of a Nation?
You're right, damn it. Hitchcock, Wells, none of them needed one. For crying out loud, Sam Raimi stabilized his camera on a plank. Props, get me a plank. We're gonna wing it. Hot dog. We're gonna do a cinema verite pirate movie. George, get to wardrobe. We're gonna make you a star.
On my way. Ready when you are, Mr. Hawks. was the stone which Ketch had captured from the Spanish. The Eagle Stone.
I returned to Quaramonte and found that Georges had left a message with Conchita. He'd already left for the Indian village, so I hurried to catch up with him. When I arrived, I found a scene of desolation. These sunglasses are Georges. Georges, where are you? Titi Poco, I'm almost glad to see you. You little asshole, what happened here? Are you responsible for this? And where's Georges? Have you seen him? He was pointing to the remains of a burned-out hut. It was too hot to pick up. I just didn't have the strength to tip that barrel. Hey, Shorty, make yourself useful and help me with this barrel. Thanks. I recognize that. It's the Coyote Stone. What is it? Where are you pointing? The scaffold gantry went all the way up the pyramid. Titi Poco, I have an important job for you. Take this rope to the top of this scaffolding and throw it over the top.
Oh.
The motor spluttered into life. Titipoco, when I tell you, I want you to copy what I am doing.
Copy.
Okay? Copy. Georges! I realized those bastards were going to sacrifice Georges to Tezcatlipoca over my dead body. Thankfully, Georges was the only one to notice me.
Where are they? The eclipse is about to happen.
Patience. Your mother will be here soon and Karzak will be close behind. Just keep the Yankee covered and leave the worrying to others.
Yeah, Raoul.
The maniacs were going to sacrifice Georges!
Shut up, Stobart! Just shut up!
Calm down. He's no threat.
Hey, Raoul, why don't you do us both a favor and shoot Pablo?
You're very funny, Stobart. I haven't forgotten Marseilles. When Karzak cuts your heart out, I'll be the one laughing.
I'll bet I'm not the only one due for the chop around here either. Hey, Raoul?
I'm warning you.
Raoul was a bundle of raw nerves. I hoped Georges wouldn't push him too far.
Hey, señorita!
Too late. I had been seen.
Bonjour, Capitaine.
Only Sergeant, pretty one. What are you doing here?
Snuggles said I could come here with him.
Snuggles?
Oh, I mean the General. We're, friends. May I go up the pyramid?
We have strict instructions not to let anybody pass.
Oh, but I've told you who I am. Surely nobody would mind.
Well...
Oh, please, I'd be ever so grateful.
I tell you what. I'll ask Pablo if it's okay for you to go up.
If Pablo saw me, I'd be dead. No. It's not worth the bother. I'm not really that interested in their stupid pyramid anyway.
Well, okay. It's men's work up there anyway.
I'll just run along and play around here, okay?
Okay, you do that.
Titipoco, do you still have that lighter gun you pulled on me so amusingly?
What's going on over there? Do you need help, my pretty?
Nothing's wrong. I dropped, a cigarette butt. Everything is under control. I'll have the fire out in a minute or two.
What's that? What's happening?
Trouble.
Keep it up. The pyramid's surrounded.
I'll find out what the trouble is. Watch Stubber doesn't pull any tricks. If he does, shoot him in the head, not through the heart.
Why does it matter? He'll be dead either way.
His heart belongs to Tezcatlipoca.
That's not true. We just had dinner a couple of times.
the gun or I shoot!
Please, don't hurt me!
Don't worry yourself, my finger isn't loaded.
Nico, what are you doing here?
Firstly, I'm going to set Georges free, and then screw up Karzak's scheme.
No, I can't let you do that. Karzak has promised me power!
Raoul, wake up. The only thing Karzak has on offer is death. You may want to ask Oubier, except you can't. Karzak murdered him.
You're lying. Oubier is in Europe.
Sure he's in Europe. In London, on a mortuary slab with 2 bullet holes in him.
But Karzak promised. When he frees Tezcatlipoca, we'll all be granted great power.
Listen to her, Raoul. Karzak's insane.
I don't know. I need to think.
You've let your mother do your thinking for you up to now. You need to think for yourself. Your mother and Karzak think alike. There's only one expendable member of the plan left, and that's you.
Mother would never betray me.
Oh, I'm tired of trying to reason with you, Raoul. Titipoco. Watch this man, and if he makes a move, shoot him with your gun. Hold still, Georges. I don't want to sacrifice you by accident.
You have no idea how glad I am to see you.
They were going to cut your heart out. I think I can guess. We can save the happy reunions for later. We've got to move. Come on!
We're safe.
This is a dead end.
We're toast. I know, Titipoco. I'm not too happy here either.
He knows this is Tezcatlipoca's pyramid. The house of the enemy.
Well, we can't stay here like rats in a trap.
And we can't go out the way we came in. It would be suicide. I'll have a look round. Maybe there's another way out. In the meantime... Take this. It's the Coyote Stone. It might bring you luck, I hope.
You managed to recover the stones from the village? Then we might have a chance after all. Incidentally, what would Titipoco have done if Graciento had moved?
Titipoco? Nothing. He's given up violence. Oof! The lever was very difficult to move and appeared to do nothing anyway. Heave! Still no good. Georges?
Yeah?
Georges, I can only pull one lever at a time, and I think we need to pull both together.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Raoul, there's something suspicious This sacrifice! Where is it?
Nico was here with Titipoco. They set him free. I couldn't stop them.
You idiot! I should have strangled you at birth. Titipoco's gone soft. He wouldn't have hurt you.
I know that.
The darkness of this hun is almost upon us, and we have no sacrifice to appease Tezcatlipoca. Have you any idea what your incompetence will cost us?
I think so. And I'm glad.
What?
The Mayans weren't fools. Tezcatlipoca should stay exactly where they put him.
Finally got some backbone from somewhere, huh? Shame it's so late in the day.
I'd rather die than see you and Karzak with the devil's power.
Fine, we're still a sacrifice short. See, the eclipse begins. Pablo, kill him! Tezcatlipoca can feed upon his yellow heart.
Nico was right all along, but it's still not too late. Come on then, Pablo. Let's see who sacrifices who.
Raoul, 'Tis you! 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 '
What place is this? I was in some sort of strange room. Tiles and dials. The priests who designed this place must have known how to use them. I was going to have to figure it out for myself if I ever wanted to get out of here. The tile moved slightly. The room was dominated by an enormous device, decorated with the usual Mayan motifs. It held 2 great discs, each covered in glyphs. The tile moved inwards and clicked home. Et voilà! George once told me that there's an knack to finding secret doors. I think I'm beginning to get the hang of it.
So I thought, this is it, you know? This is true love. Anyway, I have to leave for a few weeks, and when I come back, what do I find? Damn right. And with who? Labano, that creep.
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Oh, heck. Looks like another dead-end titty poco. Any ideas? I was hoping for something a little more constructive. Never mind, I'll have a look around. Look, I need to light this torch. Can you do something clever with a couple of sticks, or flint and tinder, or... or a cheesy novelty cigarette lighter, as it turned out. Well, there was nothing else to do around here, so I pulled the lever. Nothing's happened. Oh, I hate that. Don't you hate that? Titty Poco? Oh my... Great. I had no idea where I was, no idea where the others had got to, and time was running out to stop Karzak. Still, I wasn't dead yet, so it wasn't all bad news. A stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. Charming. Every time I think this place can't get any spookier, it does. Yes! Finally! I'm out of here. Once more into the unknown. Cool. Onwards and downwards, Mr. Stobart. This was it. The pyramid's central chamber. Its dark heart. Once before in my life, I'd stood in front of a door and thought, this is it. If I go through there, I'm going to die. I'd been wrong then. I hoped I was wrong now. This was the door that led to the central chamber and the smoking mirror.